My husband Jeff and I are the parents of 6 children.
Each of our children is important to us, and we love being together as a family. Whatever we're doing, our time together is priceless.
As parents, we want to keep our children healthy and safe. Of course, we've heard a lot about child safety, but like most people, we never really thought anything could happen to our family. Then our 10-year-old daughter, Casey, let a stranger in our house whom she thought was a police officer. That's when we decided our family, and maybe others, needed to get street smart.
When we created Capstone Entertainment and the Safe Kids Project, we could only hope that parents would recognize the importance and the value of the educational tools that Capstone can use.
Fortunately, you have. Our nationally acclaimed video, Get Street Smart, A Kid's Guide to Stranger Dangers, is the first film in a series of what we call edutainment videos.
Edutainment is our commitment to producing educational videos on issues that are relevant to parents and entertaining to children. Research shows that video is one of the most effective ways to teach our children. We've assembled some of the most talented people in film and television to work with us on this video series because we realize that safe kids are no accident. In fact, early child education is a key to stopping problems before it's too late. Today's families simply cannot wait to educate. Children need to learn about safety and important core values while they're still young.
The family values Jeff is talking about are things we've heard a lot about recently. But what you need to know is that at Capstone, family entertainment isn't just a catchy phrase or a trend.
We want Capstone Entertainment to be a resource for you to enrich your children's lives by educating their minds and their hearts about what it means to be part of the family.
I guess it's not so much a matter of teaching family values as it is recognizing the value of the family.
We welcome you as the newest member of the Capstone Entertainment family. Enjoy this video.
Hello, I'm Dick Van Patten. As you and your children have seen in the tape, Safe Kids Bike Safety, there's a lot your kids should know before they go off riding on their new bikes. As a parent, what can we do to better prepare our children for the dangers of the road? Well, today our goal is to prepare you, the parent. I'm talking with Sean Collinsworth, who's an expert in the field of police bicycle training and safety. Now, Sean, riding a bike is one of the most delightful, fun things that a child can do. But if it isn't done right, it can be extremely dangerous. Just how dangerous?
There are around 1,200 bicyclists that are killed every year, and there are over 500,000 bicycle-related injuries going into the ERs every year. A child has to remember that a bicycle isn't a toy, it's a vehicle.
Who is the most likely to be injured?
Boys are 5 times more likely to be killed on a bicycle than girls, and in terms of age groups, more than half of all bicycle deaths occur in kids who are school age 5 to 17. Head injuries are the most serious, and they're the most common cause of death among cyclists. That's why we're going to say again and again, till we drum it into you, wear a helmet. Remember, your brain is in your head. So if you protect your head, you protect your brain. When you fall off a bike, one of the first things to hit the ground is the head. If I hit an object, my head will hit it first, because I'm launched off the bike.
Have you ever taken a bad fall?
You bet I have. One day I was riding my personal bike to work, and a police car pulled out of a driveway, and I broadsided it. My head first impacted with the car, and then I continued to roll off the car onto the asphalt. And I was going at around 21 miles per hour, which is very fast for any vehicle. My head hit the vehicle, and then hit the curb, and then hit again the asphalt. So my head took 3 impacts. If it wasn't for the helmet, I would have been killed.
Well, how do most of these accidents happen? Accidents with cars?
Around 50 to 55% of bicycle collisions are not collisions at all. They're falls. The bicyclist just falls off the bicycle. 80% of all falls and collisions, though, result in some head injury if you're not wearing a helmet. I can't impress upon you enough that the greatest piece of safety equipment is the helmet. And remember, these things could happen anywhere, in parks, on bike paths, and driveways. They need not involve an accident with a car.
Okay, what can we as parents do to help prevent this kind of thing from happening?
First, they have to purchase good safety equipment. Helmet, as we've said before, is absolutely imperative. Make sure the helmet is either ANSI, ASTM, or Snell ratings. Just take the helmet, flip it over, and it will have a sticker on it. If it's a blue sticker and it says Snell, you know it's a highly rated bicycle helmet. If there's no sticker, don't purchase it. Second, rules of the road. They have to follow the rules of the road. Let's say you're driving in a car, you stop for the stop sign. You tell them that. When you come to a turn, you signal your turn. You must impress upon them early that if they're going to ride a bicycle, that they have to follow the rules of the road. And third, buy a good bicycle and maintain it in a proper fashion. You don't get in a car that is misfiring, that has bad brakes. You don't put your child on a bicycle that has bad brakes or a bad drive chain, loose chain, weak links. You must maintain the bicycle.
All right, rules of the road. When is your child old enough to be out riding in the street?
This varies, of course, from child to child, but the rule of thumb is that children under the age of 10 should not ride their bikes in the street. They're not able to identify and to adjust to many dangerous traffic situations that may arise. The thing to keep in mind about children is that they don't necessarily use their bicycles like an adult does. Adults use the bike as a conveyance in order to get from point A to point B. A child, though, probably doesn't really have a destination. He or she is just out riding the bike. They're playing. The bike is a toy, and they're just riding around the neighborhood. It's called circling the hive. They see a friend across the street, so they zip over to see that friend, right through the traffic. This can be disastrous. So once they go out on the roadway, they have to learn the rules of the road.
What's the most frequent accident type for young riders?
It's called mid-block ride-out. It occurs just after the rider enters the road from a driveway, alley, or curb without slowing or stopping. The bicyclist's sudden entry leaves the motorist too little time to avoid the collision. So teach your child always to stop and look left, then right, then left again. Just the same way we're taught to look before entering the road when we're driving our cars. Explain that a cyclist has to obey the same traffic laws that apply to drivers of automobiles. If you can, enroll your child in a bike safety education program. One, you can go to your police department and they'll send either a motor officer out or someone through their DARE program. The other is through the League of American Bicyclists. They have professional instructors that go out and teach children bicycle safety and rules of the road.
Is there any way to make learning this extremely important material fun for a child?
There's another organization called Perfection on Wheels, and they are composed of professional BMX riders. And they'll come to a school or an outing and demonstrate a lot of wild stunts, and they get the children involved because of their stunt work.
Perfection on Wheels is a program that's designed for schools as a bicycle safety and drug awareness program. We use bicycle stunt riders to develop a role model for the students to look up to carry the messages across to the students.
When you guys are out there on your bicycles, remember, keep in mind, the most important part of your safety equipment is your helmet. That's right. Don't go anywhere without it, okay? Make sure you put it on your head. They reduce the risk of head and neck injuries by 85%. So once again, if you don't already have a helmet, go and get yourselves one. Make sure you ride safe and in control. Is that a deal, everyone? Are you guys ready to have some fun now? Yeah, all right. So with that in mind, here we go. I need 4 volunteers to help me out with this next part of the show.
It's 40 minutes long. It fits in the school schedule really well. And it's a great, exciting, high-energy program using music and the riders as an assembly.
They also teach bicycle safety. They're very good at that. And even though they dazzle the kids with their artistry on the bicycle, they do show them how to properly maintain and care and show them the rules of the road, demonstrate the rules of the road to them.
What are some other dangerous situations that might occur between a cyclist and a motor vehicle?
Well, you should always ride with the flow of traffic. In other words, ride on the right-hand side of the road. Because you are the slowest conveyance on the roadway, you should ride as far right as possible. Be predictable. Don't make any sudden changes in direction. Choose a direction and maintain a straight line. And that's being part of being predictable.
Suppose you're riding with the traffic and a car is going to overtake you.
Actually, there are not a lot of collisions with car overtaking bicyclists. However, this occurs usually at night. That's because the bicyclist is not well lit or is acting in an unpredictable manner. Like any other vehicle or a driver of a vehicle, you have to first detect danger. So if a bicyclist is not seen and gets hit, it's because the driver of the vehicle did not detect the danger.
But what should a parent know about night riding?
First of all, I wouldn't allow children to ride bicycle, or I wouldn't allow my child to ride at night unless they're completely familiar with the area and their bicycle is well equipped with night riding equipment. That means a light both front and back. The light up front should be seen within 300 feet of the light emitting object. In other words, it should be at least 10 watts minimum, preferably 12 to 20 watts. The backlight should be a red flashing LED light. Those can be seen approximately a half a mile away. You must detect the danger. In other words, the vehicle approaching from behind must detect you first before it could recognize you as a road hazard and avoid you. Lights are very cheap. It's also a good idea to wear retroreflective clothing or material, not just white, especially on the ankles, wrists, back, and helmet. They should only ride in areas that they're familiar with. If they're going out with friends, make sure they know to ride single file on the right side of the road, and that they should know how to signal their intentions, left turn, right turn, and stopping.
Speaking of stopping, what's the right way to approach a stop sign?
Like any other time that you're following the rules of the road, you approach the stop sign and you make a complete stop. You put the foot down when you're riding your bicycle, you put the foot down on the asphalt, you look left, you look right, and then you look left again and proceed straight. If there is a vehicle coming up either side of you, either left or right, let them go ahead of you. Don't play chicken. If you're riding your bicycle and you slow down, a lot of drivers, even though you're a child, will think that you'll be following the rules of the road also. So it's really important. Make that stop and then proceed when it's safe to do so.
Let's move on to the third category, a well-maintained and safe bicycle.
When you first purchase a bike, you go to the store, you bring your child along. The bike should be fitted to the child that's going to be riding it. Don't buy a bicycle that's too big, expecting the child to grow into or onto the bicycle. It's very dangerous. The bike frame should fit the rider. And the best way to do that is have the child straddle the bicycle so that the top tube, that long tube going from the handlebars to the seat, is in the crotch and lift up on the bicycle. If the tires are clearing 1 inch, both front and back, that bicycle is fitting the child. It's very important. Don't expect the child to fit into the bicycle, because if the bicycle is too big, it's going to be unwieldy while the child's riding it, and it will be unbalanced. If he tries to get down and he can't clear that top tube and he can't put his foot down, he's going to fall. And if he falls left, he'll be hit by a car.
Give us a checklist for parts of the bicycle that should be in tip-top shape.
Every time you get on the bike, in fact, when you get off the bike, perform what I call the ABC quick check. A is for air. Check the air in the tires. Make sure that they're fully inflated, not underinflated or overinflated. B is for brakes. Make sure that the brake pads fit properly against the rim of the tire. When you apply the brakes with the hand lever or foot, make sure that they operate properly. They will stop the bike. Make sure the rims are clean. Make sure the brake pads are clean and not worn away. Next is C, which stands for check the chain and the crank. Make sure that the chain is oiled, that there are no loose links, that it's not kinked, that it's not dry. You can also check the tension of the chain by using the heel of your foot. Next, the crank. And the crank is where the pedals attach. Those are the crank arms. Grab a hold solidly on those crank arms and move them laterally or sideways, not up and down, but sideways against the bike. It should be tight, not wobbly. And finally, quick check. ABC quick check. Quick is for quick releases, of which usually on a bicycle there are 3. The quick releases hold the wheels against the front fork of the bicycle and the rear triangle. The front wheel and the rear wheel fit onto the bike. And it's usually done either with bolts or quick releases. Make sure that the wheels are properly snug on the bike. The last quick release is usually the seat post. And if that's loose, the bicycle seat will fall and you'll fall off the bicycle. And then the last is check the bike, ABC quick check. Make a once-over look over the bicycle. Ride it slowly. If you hear something rattling, consider it suspect. Stop. Identify where the sound's coming from. Make sure that that rattling isn't a loose wheel, a loose brake pad, a loose derailleur.
Will an eager child really stop to do all that?
Absolutely. If you impress upon the child that this is safe, that as an adult you would do this also. Again, the child is looking at the adult parent for guidance. And if you do it, the child will do it. As an adult, it takes me 90 seconds to check the bike, and I can do that after I ride. In fact, I usually do it after I ride a bicycle, because if someone calls me up and they say, Sean, let's go for a ride, I'll be taking my bicycle out, I'll be heading out, and a lot of times I'm in a rush, because if someone's calling me up, they say, we're on a ride right now, I'm getting on the bike, I'm going to hop on it, I'm going to take off. So after the ride, when I'm not in a hurry, I'll check the bike, and it will take me, again, 90 seconds. And if I see something wrong, I take it in, I get it fixed.
Tires, chains, seat, handlebars, brakes. You wouldn't want any of those to let you down while you're rolling down a hill.
No. The last thing that you want to happen is for the bicycle to start falling apart as you're going down a hill, or if you're on a ride and you're riding at speed. So it's really important to keep the bike maintained. It's really important to look at the bike and do an ABC quick check. Check the brakes, check the air in the tires, make sure that the rims are clean, that the brake pads are in good condition, that you've cleaned the rims, that you've oiled the chain, that the bike is very well maintained.
Well, kids are going to be tempted to try some of the stunts that they see the pros or other kids doing. How dangerous is that?
After you see these stunts being performed by Perfection on Wheels, you're going to feel like that you want to go out and do the same thing. You have to understand that these are professional people. These are professionals that ride and get paid to ride their bicycles in what one would call a hazard manner, unless you know what you're doing. Don't do things like this unless you know what you're doing on the bicycle. You're really comfortable on the bicycle. Take it slow. Learn to ride the bicycle before you start doing stunts, if you think that you have to do the stunts. I know it's hard. Kids want to go out and they want to do things when they see they're cool, they're neat to watch. They're probably going to be really neat to do. But if you do have a well-maintained bike and you're wearing your helmet, remember that 80% of all injuries coming into hospital rooms, into the ERs, are due to head injuries. You wear that helmet, you have a properly maintained bicycle, you're going to be safe.
Sean, thank you very much for sharing your expertise. And on behalf of Capstone Entertainment and Save Kids, I'm Dick Van Patten. Thanks for watching.